organizing today together with TIME, the Institute for Monitoring and Evaluation in Sri Lanka, Dayani Panagoda, and Sheila Descara. It's nice to be here. And from Wilde Gansen, we are here, Marit van Lieren and myself, Natasha from Wilde Gansen, Netherlands. We are very happy to have two great presenters with us, Mrs. Manique from Sri Lanka. So why are we organizing this meeting? TIME and Wilde Gansen are in the Change the Game Academy together with ASM in Sri Lanka. And that's an academy, a capacity building program on the one side, local fundraising. How can organizations within Sri Lanka raise more domestic resources, domestic funds, to be able to be more self-sustainable? And on the other hand, it's a program on lobby and advocacy, on mobilizing support. How can you as an organization, together with others, mobilize support for your cause, not only among the people in Sri Lanka, but also with the authorities or the local businesses? How can you get as much support as possible to influence policy or to make sure that policy that is already there can probably be implemented? And as we are doing this Change the Game Academy for some years in Sri Lanka, we have been talking to each other, TIME and Wilde Gansen, and also with our different partners who are here now, about the importance of disability inclusion. Many of our partners are working especially on children with disability, and we were thinking, wouldn't it be great to have a larger trajectory in which we can cooperate with each other and mobilize support for some courses? Because up till now we have especially been doing courses for groups of people. After that course, everybody went to their own town, to their own village, to their own community with their own subjects. But it would be nice if we organize a trajectory in which we have this very important subject and to see how we can influence policy, how we can ask for policy implementation, because as we will be having those two presentations today in which we will hear a lot more, and maybe you are already familiar to the policy in Sri Lanka. But as we can see from the, maybe Marit, you can share my presentation.
I'm Manique Gunaratne, Manager, Specialized Training and Disability Resource Center of the Employers Federation of Ceylon. If you wanted my dream, to make children with disabilities be equally capable as children with non-disabilities, because the children, they are the ones who will be the future of the next generation. So want them to be equally capable as children with not yet with a disability. Thank you. Welcome all of you to the session on education for children with disabilities. I'm Manique Gunaratne, Manager, Specialized Training and Disability Resource Center of the Employers Federation of Ceylon. The education is divided into 4 parts, that is preschool education, school education, higher education, and vocational training. When it comes to preschool education, it is very important to train teachers on how to teach students with different disabilities. Early intervention programs are important to identify the disabilities of children with disabilities and, if possible, provide early intervention programs so that the child with a disability can be integrated to the school. Standardize the integrated education system. Ensure the right to education when enrolling children with disabilities to integrated education system. They should enter the school at the proper age. Provide facilities, assistive devices, and technology for children with disabilities so that they can get the same education as children with non-disabilities. Conduct an inclusive assessment when enrolling child to the school. Prepare individual plans to cater to the disability of the child and their needs. Ensure the right to enter the integrated education system without forcing the parents to send them to special school. Awareness programs for teachers and parents on integrated education system. Provide physical and human resources required for integrated education system. Access to built environment for children with physical disabilities. Accessible washrooms in school is very important. Create visual schedules, which is very important for children with learning disabilities. Change mindset of parents of children with non-disabilities so that it will be easy to integrate children with disabilities into the same classroom. Parental counseling is very important. All activities in the preschool education should be inclusive for children with diverse disabilities. No one should be marginalized. Notes and study notes should be in accessible formats such as Braille, large print, accessible e-copies, audio, sign language, and simple text. Children should be motivated and they should be natural motivation, so they are interested in their preschool education. Then we have to get into the school education. When it's come to school education, you have to promote smart classrooms, provide required assistive devices for school children, maybe braille slates, screen magnifiers, and other devices, especially for hearing impaired children also, the hearing aids for hard of hearing persons. Every student must be given an assistive device required according to the disability when they enter to grade 1. Provide students with disabilities with laptops and appropriate software so that they can get the same education like children with non-disabilities. Provide textbooks in accessible formats such as Braille, large print, audio, accessible e-copies, simple text, and sign language. Ensure that the special school education teacher visit the school where the child with a disability is very often, so that the child with a disability will get the proper education required. Teachers should accommodate the needs of students with disabilities when teaching these children, especially with universal design and adopting special teaching strategies. Enhance on individualized education plans. Enroll teachers with disabilities as special education teachers. Facilitate according to different types of learners. Provide textbooks at the beginning of the year in accessible formats, because sometimes the textbooks are given at the middle of the year or sometimes towards the end of the year. Create a mechanism where children with disabilities can get their textbooks in accessible format straight from the National Institute of Education if they don't get the textbook through the school. Create a platform where all accessible textbooks will be uploaded so that the child with a disability can download the book required according to the disability. Upgrade and maintain the facilities provided by the National Institute of Education. Create opportunities for children with disabilities to be rewarded and celebrate their accomplishments. And when it's come to higher education, let the student with a disability decide on the subjects that he or she is going to take for his higher education, not according to the teacher's requirement. Provide reasonable accommodation for examination. Authority to use a computer at the examination so that it will be easy to do the exam alongside with students with non-disabilities. Provide examination papers in accessible formats. Give the right to the student with the disability to decide on the writing method of the examination. For example, whether a child with a disability is doing the exam in Braille or provided with a writer or writing the exam paper in large font according to his or her disability. Have alternate questions for vision impaired students who cannot read graphics and picture-based questions. Provide the accessible exam paper at the same time where students with non-disabilities are getting the exam paper, because most of the time children with disabilities get the exam paper later than the students with non-disabilities. Have a media campaign to make awareness among students and parents on the importance of education for children with disabilities. Establish exam centers at the school of the child, or at least have one special examination center for each district, rather than all students in all over Sri Lanka coming to Colombo for special examination center. Examiner should be flexible in reading the questions, and if the child wants it to be read at 2 or 3 times, the examiner should provide these facilities. Register students with disabilities for university education at the same time where students with non-disabilities are registered to the university. Make the University Grants Commission website accessible for children with disabilities so that the online application forms can be submitted without any difficulty. Implement recreation activities so that students with disabilities can participate in recreation and sports facilities. Have special career development plans for students with disabilities. Provide psychosocial support for students with disabilities. Then it comes to vocational training. Lower the enrollment criteria, because sometimes it says that either GC ordinary level or GC advanced level, but sometimes children with disabilities, they do not pass at least the GCE ordinary level. So you have to lower the enrollment criteria. Update the courses and its structures in government vocational training institutes. Upgrade the courses to suit the job market. Provide training materials in accessible formats. Have inclusive courses without having separate courses for people with disabilities. The Vocational Training Institute should be flexible, ensuring the structure and the duration of the course is according to the disability or according to the need of the student with the disability. Career counseling is important. Provide support in providing employment and put them in touch with the employers. And those are the difficulties and facilities should be provided for education for children with disabilities in preschool, school education, higher education, and in vocational training. If you need further information, you can either contact me or go to below links and find further information. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Change the Game Academy for including persons with disabilities to speak about children with disabilities in their education, which makes the concept nothing about us without us a reality. Thank you very much.
Please subscribe and join hands with us to shine in the dark.